Okay, today we are going to take the class lesson 8, reach for the top. So before that one poem was there. The lesson we had completed packing, and after that one poem was there. So we are relating that and coming to the 8th one, that is reach for the top. So reach for the top, what do you understand from that? Reach for the top. Yes, reaching for the highest. Top here means the seventh or the highest. Reaching highest of seventh. That is seventh of glory. Isn't it? It is the highest of the glory. So suppose we are kind Mount Everest. Isn't it? That also can be compared to be the reach to the top. Isn't it? Reach for the top. So the person who had attempted to climb that great mountain had reached for the top, had reached at the highest point or as the zenith of his glory. Understood now? So that is the meaning of reaching for the top. So here we are going to study about Santosh Yadav. Who is Santosh Yadav and what is her achievement? Understood? Think for a while and make a list of 3 to 5 persons you idolize. Idolize means worship. Idolize, worship. So make a list of 2 or 4 people whom you worship. That means considering them as your icon, following them, saying that how genius they are. So I also like to be like them. So that determination you are feeling, that emotion you are feeling. Understood? Or admire very much for their achievements. Understood the meaning? Got the meaning now? That means those people whom we worship forever because of their achievement, and we also think, and I can also wanted to become like him. Understood? Like this. Suppose we take Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the great scientist, isn't it? The missile man. So while reading or while understanding him and the steps he had climbed and reached to the top, isn't it? And that we also feel, and the achievements he had made. So when we think about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, we think, oh, let me also be like that. Or at least if I am not able to become like him, yeah, let me take some of his achievements for my own. That is the meaning of idolize. Understood? Your idols may be from any sphere. That means they can come from any sphere of the life. That means science, sports, medicine, language, or anything. Any kind of spheres. Understood? Media, art and culture. You can a great paintist, Leonardo da Vinci, isn't it? And like that, the great literature poets, Shakespeare, Plato. So all these people, what they have achieved, we are having an admiration in our mind about them, isn't it? About their achievements, about their work, in which field they are. Understood? Now, like that, we are going to study about Santosh Yadav. The only woman in the world who had scaled Mount Everest twice was born in she had climbed Mount Everest. Mount Everest, how many times? 2 times. Twice means 2 times. She had climbed Mount Everest 2 times. Was born in a society where the birth of a son was regarded as a blessing, and a daughter, though not considered a curse, was not generally welcome. So Santosh Yadav had born in a family. In olden times, how were they? Girls were given only less education. They are not supposed to send to school, isn't it? Because the family members, their parents will think that why to get education for the girls, because they are the ones who have to go to some other home get married and go somewhere, isn't it? But at the same time, they spend money to educate their son, because they know once they are getting education, what will they do? They will go for job and the earnings will be there, isn't it? But what's the use of a girl? She has to go to somebody's house, and why? She has to be educated. So this is the thinking of or belief of the people. So here Santosh Yadav also had born in such a family where privileges and all the education was given only for the son. Understood? Only for the boys. And from that society, from that family, who had come out? Santosh Yadav had come out. Understood? So think about the hazards or the difficulties she had faced to come out of her people, isn't it? Though not considered a curse, was not generally welcome, because they are not given a good welcome. Why? Because girls has to be in their home only. They should not be, no money should be spent for them. Understood? That was the mentality of the people in old times. When her mother, even now also in majority Muslim family, we can see that what we can see. The girls are not given much education. Only now, new generation, in the new generation only, children are going out and having educated, isn't it? But at the time, in olden time, how was it? Because after 14 or 15 or after 13 years old means, it is sure they are going to get married and they have to go to a boys' school, isn't it? So with that, everything ended with her family. So that was the condition. Even now also we can see. When her mother was expecting Santosh, expecting means when she was pregnant. A traveling holy man. Holy man means a saint, sannyasi. Holy man. Holy man, saint. Giving her his blessing, assumed that she wanted a son. So when that saint come and was giving blessing for her, at that time she was pregnant. Her mother was pregnant. And she had asked the holy man to give blessing for a son. Understood? Why? Because it was like that. Because if it is a daughter, she had no value in the family, isn't it? So if it is a son, they are very much happy about it. But to everyone's surprise, the unborn child's grandmother, who was standing close by, told him that they did not want a son. But by the time when the saint was, the mother was saying that she needed a son for the family, grandmother was standing by the side and she said, what did she say? No, we need a daughter in our family. The holy man was also surprised. Why? Because it was the time when all are thinking that they should have only whom? A boy, son, isn't it? Not a girl, daughter. So, at that time, when the mother is being asked to give a son, what did the grandmother say? No, we don't need a son, we need a daughter. So, who also was surprised? That saint also was surprised. Nonetheless, he gave the requested blessing. Okay, because the mother had asked to give a son, isn't it? So, he had given the blessing. And as destiny would have it, and as a fortune, the blessing seemed to work. Santosh was born the 6th child in the family with the 5 sons. A sister to 5 brothers. So already, how many boys are there in the family? Yes, 5 boys are there already. 5 boys are there in the family, isn't it? And she is the 6th child. She is the 6th child, and among the 5 boys, she is the only girl in the family. Now you understood why grandmother had said that they needed a daughter. Because already in the family, how many boy members have 5 already. There are 5. So still the mother was asking for a son, isn't it? That is why grandmother had said that let our family have a daughter. Understood? She was, and finally, whose blessing had come? Grandmother's blessing had come, isn't it? Her mother gave birth to Santosh Yadav. She was born in a small village of Joinavas of Rewari district in Haryana. So where was she born? Where was she born? In Haryana, that is Joinavas of Rewari district. Rewari district in Haryana. UP. Haryana? Yes, in UP. Haryana in So that is the birth of whom? Santosh Yadav. Understood now? The girl was given, actually Santosh. Santosh, the name is commonly heard from whom? Boys, isn't it? Sorry. So girls, that name Santosh is not common, isn't it? But here she is a girl and the name was given as Santosh, which means contentment. So Santosh, the word meaning is having contentment. Contentment, that is satisfaction. Santosh, the word Santosh means satisfaction. Santosham, isn't it? Santosha, happiness. So content. So those who are having the name Santosh now understood what's the meaning of that name? Is contentment or satisfaction. But Santosh was not always content. She was not satisfied with her place in a traditional way of life. So she was not happy because the old customs and tradition prevailed in her family. Traditional customs. The superstitious beliefs and all that prevailed in her family. So though her name has the meaning of satisfaction or happiness, actually she did not have that happiness. Why? Because the family was a strict traditional, following the traditional custom. Family is strict in following the traditional customs. Now we will see what are the customs the family follow. Santosh prefers shorts. Looking back, she says now, from the very beginning, I was quite determined that if I choose a correct and a rational path, the others around me have to change, not me. She began living life of her own terms from the start. So from the very beginning itself, she was in her own path. So when she was in her own path, nobody was able to change her, isn't it? At the same time, others had to change themselves in order to go along with whom? Santosh, isn't it? Others has to change. So that she was saying at the last that because she did not change according to others, she had done what is right in her own way, she continued. So what happened? Others had to change themselves in order to follow her. Understood? When other girls wore traditional Indian dresses, in olden times long skirts or saris and all, isn't it? When they were wearing all that, she was wearing shorts. looking back, she says now, from the very beginning I was quite determined. That means she was in firm. She was very firm in her decision. Very firm in her decision. Firm in her discussion. She was firm in her discussion. That means what she thought is right, she had continued herself without others, isn't it? I choose a correct and a rational path. Rational path means based on reason. So for everything there was a reason for her. Rational path. Rational path means reasonable path, because for everything. So now the others were wearing traditional dresses. She was wearing shorts, isn't it? So there is a reason behind that why she did not use traditional dresses. Understood now? And others around me had to change, not me. And that is why she is saying she did not change. She was going in the right path. So the others who wanted to go in her path had to change. Others changed themselves in order to follow her. Understood now? She did not change. Santosh's parents were affluent landlords. Affluent means very rich. Affluent, very rich. Affluent, very rich. So they are not very poor people. They are very rich landowners, one who owns acres of land, to send their children to the best school. So they got enough money, and at that time it is very expensive, isn't it? Only rich people used to send their children to schools. Schools were only less in number, and those schools were very expensive, isn't it? So only rich family members are able to send their children to such schools. So this, according to Santosh as a family, they were well enough to send their children to school. Best to the school, even to the country's capital. That means even to the capital city also they are able to send. Not only in their surrounding schools, but outside their area also they are able to send. That means able to spend. The next place to Haryana is Delhi. So if in Haryana, if there are no such schools where they are ready to send, they are ready to send their children to Delhi also, isn't it? So Delhi means it's a metropolitan city, and as a metropolitan city the expenses are very high. So in that case also they are able to send their children, which was quite close by. But in line with the prevailing custom in the family, according to the custom traditions followed in the family, Santosh had to make do with the local village school. So, because at that time, what is the belief over there? Girls should not be given more education, or they are not allowed to send out of their area, isn't it? Only the boys are being sent to the other schools for higher education. So, according to, because of that, she was sent to a local school. That means in the place where they are living, in the Rewari district. But in line with the prevailing custom in the family, Santosh had to make do with the local village school. So she was sent in the local village school, nearby village school. So she decided to fight the system in her own quiet way when the right moment arrived. So she was sent to the village school. Why? Because for that only the formal education should be given to her, isn't it? According to the family beliefs, only formal education should be given to her. So that is why she is being sent where in the local school. Because for higher studies, according to their custom, who is not allowed? Girls are not allowed. But who wanted to fight? Santosh wanted to fight. At 16, most of the girls in her village used to get married. And there are 16. Santosh was also under pressure from her parents to do this. So when the girls attain the age of 15, 16, what the families do? they will find the boys for them and get married and send them out of their home, isn't it? So here also, who had reached up to the age of 16? Santosh came to the age of 16 and now their family are discussing about what? Getting married. Yes, that means 16 age is the maximum where the girls has to be kept in their home, isn't it? After that they have to go along with the boy in their home. So now she had reached to the age of 16 and they are planning to get married. A marriage as early as, that was the last thing on her mind. As early as, that was the last thing on her mind. That means the only thing is no higher studies or no going to send her anywhere for education. Now the level in the local village school time is getting over, and then what is the next one? Next one is the marriage. So with that marriage, what will come to the end for the girl? Education will come to an end. She threatened her family that she would never marry if she did not get a proper education. But she was very good, isn't it? How did she show the courage? She said, if the marriage is to be proposed, what she will do? She will not agree to that, isn't it? Why? She wanted higher education. She threatened her parents that she would never marry if she did not get a proper education. She left home and got herself enrolled in the school in Delhi. So the parents did not allow her, isn't it? So what did she do? She went out of her house and joined in the college in Delhi. When her parents refused to pay for her education, so fees has to be paid, they refused. She politely informed them of her plans to earn money by working part-time to pay her school fees. So she started working as a part-time job. She found a part-time job and she said the family that now she will go for job and at the same time continue her education. Her parents then agreed to pay for her education. So the parents did not want her to do any kind of job in between, isn't it? So what did they do? Finally they agreed to pay for her education. See how sharp and how much strong she was, isn't it? Otherwise, if as the ordinary girls of that village, if she was like that, or just saying or accepting or agreeing to the words of the parents, what would have happened to her? When she came at the age of 16, what will be stopped? Her education will be stopped and she will not be sent for higher education, isn't it? And what is the next plan? Getting married. The getting married means going out of her own home to others, to the boy's house, isn't it? So with that, everything is over. Then she has to be a housewife only. No job, no education. But she strongly disagreed with her parents, saying that if proper education is not given to her, she will not get married. So the parents cannot keep a girl like that in their home, isn't it? So what did she do? She went out of her house and joined herself in the college in Delhi, and she said, and she was not able to give the fees over there. So that what did she inform her parents? Now she will go for a part-time job and earn something and give as a fee for her education, isn't it? So saying that, who felt shame? The parents felt shame. Their daughter going for some job, and because they are very rich landowners, isn't it? And the girl going for a job. So what did they finally agree? To pay fees for her higher education. Understood? That much strong mind, willpower, who was having? Santosh Yadav was having, isn't it? For everything, whatever what is right and what we feel it should be, we have to fight for that. Yes or no? Yes. If we are quiet, what will happen? We will be losing. We will be losing our life. So we have to be strong enough. Understood? The first lesson is the willpower, the strong power. Understood? Wishing always to study a bit more. That means able to. Again I wanted to study. That desire. And with her father slowly getting used to her urge for more education. So little by little making her father understand what happened. She started continuing her education. Santosh passed the high school examinations and went to Jaipur. So from Delhi she had completed her higher education, and again for the higher education she joined in the Jaipur University. She joined Maharani College and got a room in Kasturba hostel. There she started to stay in a hostel because their home is in Haryana, isn't it? Now she had gone to Delhi and later from Delhi to Jaipur. So it is not possible for her to go daily, isn't it? So she started to stay in a hostel. Kasturba hostel faced. So now saying about the hostel group. Aravalli Hills. I used to the great mountain hills. Yes. I used to watch villagers from my room going up the hill and suddenly vanishing after a while. Vanishing means vanish, disappear. Vanish, disappear. So through the window she could see the Aravalli hill range, the mountain range she could see. And every day through the window while watching outside, what she is seeing? Villagers are coming and climbing the mountain, and afterwards they are not seen for a while. One day I decided to check it out myself. One day she wanted to know where are those people going. I found nobody except a few mountaineers. So when she went in search of those villagers, she could not see the villagers. Instead of that, what did she saw? Only the mountaineers. People who are climbing the mountain. I asked if I could join them. So when she went there, she got interested in that. She saw many mountain climbers over there. They are climbing that great Aravalli Hills, isn't it? And she asked whether she can join along with them. To my pleasant surprise, they answered in the affirmative. In the affirmative means in the positive. And motivated me to take to climb. So they did not discourage her. What did they do? They said okay. Happily they had encouraged her and gave the inspiration to join with them. Understood? That is how her first mountain climb had started. Understood now? How did the first mountain climb had started? While looking through the window, she could see the villagers going, but afterwards they are disappearing, they are not being seen. So she got the curiosity to know where are those people going. In order to find themselves where they are going, she went herself. And the only whom did she see? Only some mountaineers, mountain climbing people. She could see only those climbers over there. And when seeing them, she felt happy and thought she could also join with them. Asked them, they gave a positive answer and encouraged her to join with them for that mountain climb. Then there was no looking back for his determined anger. So she did not think about anything else. Only now, what is her desire? To climb the greater mountain. She saved money and enrolled in the course at Uttarkashi, Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. So from there, her desire started for what? Climbing mountains. So she had joined from Jaipur. She went to Uttarkashi, Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. My college semester in Jaipur was to end in April, but it ended on the 19th of May. So up to April her class was there, but because she had joined for the mountaineering institution, what had happened? She had broken her class in the month of May. And I was supposed to be in Uttarkashi on the 21st. For the class, she has to join on 21st. So I did not go back home. Instead, I headed straight for the training. So she did not have time to go to her Haryana and inform her parents, isn't it? So she left for where? Institute of Mountaineering. I had to write a letter of apology. Sorry. to my father, without whose permission I had got myself enrolled in Uttarakashi. So, because the time limit was very little, and so she had no time to go back to Haryana and inform her or get permission from her parents. So, what did she do? She directly went straight to the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering and joined there, because by 31st she has to enroll her name. She had enrolled her name, and later she felt sorry and wrote a sorry letter to her father saying about all these inconveniences. Understood now? Thereafter Santosh went on an expedition every year. She used to go for mountaineering. Her climbing skills matured rapidly. So every year she was going for mountaineering, and that practice, it was a kind of practice, and that made her strong enough. That means she was able to mature rapidly, slowly. Matured, she became mature enough to climb the mountain. Also, she developed a remarkable resistance opposition to cold and altitude, because climbing mountain areas are cold. Very as we go, we will be in bitter cold, and at the same time about their height, for the breathing problem is there, isn't it? So everything we have to carry. Mountaineers, have you seen the mountaineers carrying oxygen cylinders, isn't it? So as we are going higher and higher altitudes, higher heights, coldness and the same breathing problem comes. So she started to, while climbing daily, giving practice in climbing, she was able to control that coldness and height. Also, she developed a remarkable resistance to cold and to stand that severe cold and altitude is the height. Equipped with an iron will, physical endurance and an amazing mental toughness, she proved herself repeatedly. That means, what are the majors which had proved herself to be a great mountaineer? Yes, what all things? Iron will, that strong willpower, that is willpower. If you have that strong willpower, we will be success in our achievement, isn't it? If that willpower is not there, you will not be able to reach up to the aim what you wanted, isn't it? So the main thing is that willpower, that I will do that thing, understood? Then physical endurance, how to strong desire, endurance is the strong desire, physically I am fit for that. That stamina is there in me, that mind should be understood. Then physical endurance, and then last one, mental toughness, mentally how prepared. Whatever comes, I am able to face, that mental power. So physically our body, isn't it? Physically our body should be strong and fit enough to face any hazards in front of us. At the same time, making our mind also capable for what? To go along with the difficulties or whatever it is in front of us. Understood? So she had achieved these three powers. The culmination of her hard work, that means the result of her hard work and sincerity came in 1992. Just 4 years after she was shy of the rebellion. That means after 4 years, that means she had taken only 4 years for her expedition. She had, that is in 1992. After joining the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, 4 years she had completed. Within the 4 years, she had attained that willpower, physical endurance and mental resistance toughness. Understood? And sincerity came, and in the year 1992, she was able to join for the mountain climbing. At barely 20 years of age. So what was her age at that time? 20 years. She was only 20 years old. Santosh Yadav scaled Mount Everest, becoming the youngest woman in the world to achieve the feat. So she was the youngest woman who had climbed on the mountain peak, Mount Everest, when she was only 20 years old. 4 years after her mountain expeditions, that training. Understood? If her climbing skill, physical fitness and mental strength impressed her seniors, her concern for others and desire to work together with them found her a special place in the heart of fellow climbers. So she was not at all selfish also. At the same time, she used to help and give encouragement to all those who were along with her. Understood? During the 1992 Everest mission, Santosh Yadav provided special care to a climber who lay dying on the south pole. Now saying about the expeditions while climbing the mountain, Mount Everest, what all the things she had done for the co-climbers. Understood? She did not care only for herself, she was much concerned about the others also who was following with her. So one case in 1992, while on her expedition, she was unfortunately unsuccessful to save him. One climber along with her was dying at the south pole. However, she managed to save another climber, Mohan Singh, who would have met with the same fate had she not shared her oxygen with him. So first that person, she was not able to help him because he had already died. But the second co-climber, that is Mohan Singh, she also came in the critical stage and she was able to share her oxygen cylinder to him and thus save his life. Within 12 months, Santosh found herself a member of an Indo-Nepalese women's expedition that invited her to join them. She then scaled the Everest a second time. So first time she had gone in the year 1992. Now again coming in the year 1996. Understood? She was scaled the Everest a second time, thus setting a record as the only woman to have scaled the Everest twice. That is the second time she is climbing the Mount Everest and securing for herself and India a unique place in the annals of mountaineering. So she was the only woman who had climbed the Mount Everest twice at a very early age of 20 years. In recognition of her achievement, the Indian government bestowed upon her one of the national top awards of Padma Shri, and thus she was awarded Padma Shri Award. Because the youngest woman at the same time climbing the great highest peak twice. Understood? Describing her feelings when she was literally on top of the world. Now how she felt, what is the emotion, what is the feeling she had felt when she was at the top of the Mount Everest. Santosh said, it took some time for the enormity of the moment to sink in. That means after reaching at the top, she was not able to say anything for just a second. She could not believe herself. Then I unfold the Indian tricolor. She had placed the Indian flag over there and held aloft on the roof of the world. That means on top of the world. That is all. Before that lesson we have studied that it is a commune with the God. When we are on the top of the mountain, it is a reunion with any God whomever you worship. Understood? We see our God there. It is believed like that. At that very top, at the tip where we had achieved, we will be able to reunion with our God whomever we worship. So there she had unfurled the Indian flag. The Indian flag was flying on top of the world. It was truly a spiritual moment. I felt proud as an Indian. She is saying, I felt proud as an Indian to place the Indian flag on top of such a height. After that is why it is already said reaching for the top. Also a prevalent environment. At the same time she was a great environmentalist also. What do you mean by that? Taking care of the environment, making the environment clean. Santosh collected and brought down 500 kilograms of garbage from the Himalayas. So while climbing, she was not able, because nobody will be able to do anything while we are on our way to the top, isn't it? But while coming down, she about 500 kilogram of garbage she had collected. From where the garbage comes? Those climbers who are climbing, they will be having water, food and everything. So they cannot carry each and everything along with them. While having water, when the water is over there, throw the bottle, isn't it? So in between many people die also, and their garbages will be left over. So while climbing down, she had collected about the 500 kilograms of garbage. Understood? That is why it is said she is a great, not only a mountain climber, but also an environmentalist. Okay, now we come to the end of the lesson. You have to read the lesson properly, understand it properly. So two parts is there. First of now Santosh Yadav, now second we will study about Maria Sharma.